Hey guys, it's Kaylor. Welcome to the YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the brand new November 2019 update for Adobe XD. So this week was Adobe Max, and with that, I'm not surprised that we received an update to Adobe XD, and it has 8 new features, and they are nice. So I cannot wait to show you guys these and go over them in this video. Before we get started, if you guys are new here, I make videos on Adobe XD and design related content, so make sure you guys subscribe and have that notification bell on for more videos like this. Also, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. With all that said, let's go ahead and take a look at this month's features. The first new feature we have this month is co-editing, and it's currently in beta, but it's still going to give you collaboration in real time inside of Adobe XD. So if you're working with a team of designers on a day-to-day basis and your software of choice for UI UX is Adobe XD, this is probably going to be you and your team's favorite of the new features this month. To utilize co-editing in Adobe XD, the first thing you need to do is make sure you're using a cloud document, and you'll see that by the cloud icon right here. If you don't have a cloud document, when you select this icon to invite people to your document, it will ask you to save it to the cloud. So it will make a duplicate of the existing document on your machine and insert it to the cloud. From here, you can invite your team. However, you might want to make sure that co-editing is already enabled before you do that. There will be a button here, just simply click that and it will turn on co-editing. Then you can invite your team members, adding them via email. So I'm going to add the email associated with my other Adobe XD account and log on to my other computer. I'm using co-editing from my main machine, which is my Mac, and my other machine, which is my PC sitting next to me. So this does work between Windows and Mac users. So on my PC, which you can't see, I have my Adobe Creative Cloud app open, and there's a notification. So I just click the bell icon, click that link, and it will load up the document. Now, once that logs in, you'll see right here in the top right-hand corner that my other account is logged on, symbolized by the profile picture, and the red outline lets me know that that person is online and working in this document. As I start to click on things on this other account, you'll notice that this artboard right here just turned red, and if I hover over it, it tells me that that person is working on this. So if I were to make any adjustments with this in real time, you will see it right here in your view. So that is co-editing working together inside an Adobe XD document. Again, this is in beta. And one final big thing to note about this feature is make sure all of your team members are on the same version of Adobe XD. I was 1 point off on a version on my main machine, and all my other machines were 1 point ahead, so my documents would not work in co-editing. It made me quit on one of the machines to work individually. So just make sure that everybody is on the same document. I almost could not get this working for the video, and for the last few days it has puzzled me of why I couldn't get it working, but thanks to Howard Pinsky and Elaine Chow on Twitter, they were able to help me with that simple mistake. So just make sure all your team members are on the same version of XD, preferably the most recent one. The second feature we have this month is document history. So now we have this drop down we can select, and you'll notice that we have different versions that are spaced out via timestamp. And if I want to save one, for example, I can hit bookmark, and then I can name this whatever I would like. And now I have a way of keeping track of history. So if I make big changes and then it turns out the client didn't want those, we can easily revert back to a previous version. So that is really nice to have. That is document history. The next new feature we have is component states. And this is going to allow us to minimize some of our workload by allowing us to have different design variations in one component. So here I have this grouping, which is just a rectangle and a button text. So I want this to be my button component. So you can use the typical shortcut or just go up to Object and Make Component. Or you can now go over here on the right-hand side and click this plus icon to make this a component. So this is the master template. You'll notice here in the corner that the master is symbolized by that green filled diamond. If I have any other instance of this in my design, you'll notice that both of these will have this outlined green diamond, not the filled green diamond. So that's how it is now symbolized. But now what we can do is add different states for this component. So first thing I'm going to do is add a hover state, which is our fourth new feature this month, which is kind of intertwined with this one. So if I add a new state, I can just make a new state entirely, or it has hover state here for me. So I'm going to go ahead and add the hover state. I'm just going to name it hover state. And now what I want to do is I want to select the rectangle, and I just want to make this a little bit darker of a color. So now that when this is hovered over, it's going to switch to this dark color. So if we go to the live preview now, you can see that as I hover over this button, that functionality is built in. This is also really good because you can do even more with this. So I want another state. So I'm going to add a state and we'll just call this alt. And I'm going to be using a lot of buttons on this website, but for this one, I want to be purple. So in any part of my design, I have these buttons everywhere. I can use my typical default button wherever I would like, but I can also change to the alt button on any of them. So you can see how that can definitely speed up your workflow. So that is component states and hover triggers. The next new feature we have is multiple interactions. So this is going to allow us to add multiple wires to one specific element. So if I hit the live preview, you can see the concept I have right now. I'm swiping back and forth between these credit cards. But now when I tap this credit card, I want to go to this alternate screen that gives me some information and some buttons. So to do this, we already have a wire going back to this artboard on this element, but now we have the plus icon. So we can just simply click that, drag the wire down, and from the triggers option, we can choose tap, and then we're going to auto animate this over 1 second. So you'll notice that we have 2 wires coming from this one element now. So if I hit the live preview now, I can swipe back and forth on the cards like normal, but now that I tap on this, it animates to the next screen. So that is multiple interactions in Adobe XD. The next change we have this month is a redesign to the plugins manager. So if I open that up here in XD, you can see we have this window with these 3 tabs. You can browse through this yourself, and you can even search for a plugin that you might want to see if it exists. Unfortunately, that one doesn't. You can even manage all of your plugins from here as well. So that is a redesign to the plugins manager. The next new feature we have in Adobe XD is the share tab. So we used to have a blue share button over here on the right, and now we have its own tab. So you'll notice right away when I switch over to the share tab that my home artboard and all of its linked artboards via the prototype tab are selected and highlighted. So if I zoom out, you can see this other artboard that I was using earlier. Since it is not connected to this flow at all, it is not going to be exported into the link. So that's a good visual way to see what is going to be visible and what is not through your link. Over here on the properties inspector, you'll notice at the top you have this link settings, and here you can manage your old links if you have any pre-existing ones, and you can have the option of creating a new link. If you have any existing links, they will show up down here at the bottom. You can also change the title from here, and then you can select the view settings, and these are the different settings that you can share your design through. If you want to share it for development, for example, you can select that, or you can go to custom and go through the settings yourself. And like always, you can choose who can see this and if it should require a password, and then you can create your link. So that is the new share mode tab for Adobe XD. The next update we have is enhanced Creative Cloud Libraries integration. Before this update, I found the CCL in terms of XD as pretty limited, and I never really used it just because we couldn't add anything more than colors and some graphics, I think. But now we have better access and we can use this with components now, so that's even better. So here in the assets panel, we have this nice little icon right here next to the plus, and this opens up the CC libraries. So here you'll see my library that I'm using for this video, and here I have the color swatches, so we can add elements just like normal. I want the fill color of this, and I can go through and add all of my colors in here. But now, not only that, but we can add actual components and other elements in here. So I have this slider component that I've named over here slider, and I can just hit the plus icon. You notice that it recognizes it's a component and adds it to the component section. So now if I need a slider, I can just drag that in, or if I need this graph, I can just drag that in as well. And so now not only do I have all these in a nice convenient place, but I can open up Photoshop and Illustrator and other programs that have access to CCL and drag these elements and colors in and use them to keep my designs nice and consistent when using multi-platform design workflows. So that is enhanced Creative Cloud Library integration. So that is all 8 of the new features we have for Adobe XD this month. Here is the features list. I will have this linked in the description of this video like I do in all the Adobe XD update videos I make. And here, if we click the Learn More button, it's going to take us to the blog article that corresponds to this update. There's some other things we might want to take a look at. We've got co-editing there, document history. And then I don't know why this isn't a feature. I guess it's not large enough to be one, but they now have some more improved sketch import capability. So what they've done is they've enhanced the import from Sketch to XD. So if you didn't know, you can open Sketch files inside of XD. If your team's working on different design softwares, they can do that. So you can open up the file and then save it as an XD file. And now when you do that, it's going to convert your libraries better into Adobe XD essentially. And I think that is pretty much it here. Again, I'll have this feature list linked, and that will also have the blog link here in the description if you guys are interested in checking that out. So that is going to do it for this video. That is the November 2019 update for Adobe XD. Let me know what you guys' favorite feature is from this month's update. The co-editing is a big one, but since I don't work with a team usually, I think the multiple interaction or the hover trigger is probably going to be tied for my favorite thing from this month. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And also if you have any questions, leave them down there. I usually answer comments for the first hour or two right away, and then I come back and answer the rest at a later time. So if you have any questions, that's the best window to leave a comment. And yeah, and so that's going to do it for me. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more design related content, make sure you have that notification bell on so you don't miss a future video. And as always, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.